How's it going, guys? Steven here from Flikboard. We have graduated from the beginner tricks and now we are on to intermediate. The first one we're going to highlight in this video is called the late flicks, and we like to call them flicks for short. The late flicks are very fun because it's kind of just like the beginner tricks, but you're doing them late. So in the beginner you just toss the board whatever direction you want. In this video you toss the board straight up and you flick it whatever direction you want. It makes it a lot more fun but a lot more challenging. So the first one is just like the beginner trick, the flip, but it's now called a flick because you throw it up and you flick it. So there's outer flick when your hand is going outer away from your body, and there's inner flick, your hand is flicking into your body. So outer flick looks like this, and inner flick looks like this. Alright, so let's take a closer look at what just happened. You're going to take the board on the back of your hand, throw it up, and once it's in the air, you're going to let it sit there, but the most important thing is you have to flick it while the board is still traveling up. If you flick it and you wait too long till it's coming down, it's going to be too late to do anything with the board. So when you flick it, you have to make sure the board is still traveling up. So I'm going to do the outer flick for you one more time, and watch closely how I hit the board while it's still traveling up. And the same thing with the inner flick. Alright, now that you got those down, it's time to move on to the upwards and downwards flicks. So this is the same idea. So as the board is going up, while it's still traveling up, you have to do these motions. The one is the upper flick and one is the downward flick. It's going to turn the board this way and this way. So I'll show you. Upward flick and the downward flick. So let's take a closer look at that one. As the board is going up in the air, you want to hit it right in the middle of the board to keep it straight. If you're off center, it's going to make it do all sorts of weird things. You want it to be as centered and straight as possible. So it's going to look just like this. Alright, last but not least are the helicopter flicks. You have forward and backward flicks. So as the board is going up, you take your hand off and you flick right here on the edge of the board to make it do a helicopter. So I'll show you how it looks. That's the forward, this is the backward. Just like that. As you're tossing the board up, it's really important, like I said before, to keep it flat. Because if it starts going like this, it's going to be harder to keep the helicopter nice and flat. So toss it up flat, and as it's still traveling up, you take your finger off and smack it one way or the other for the forward and the backward helicopter flicks. Alright guys, so keep practicing these flicks, and once you have them mastered, you can put them in any combination you want to make it more difficult and more fun. So in other words, you can do an upper flick to outer flick, you can combine them all in one trick, upper to outer, stuff like that. Alright guys, thanks for watching this intermediate video on all the different flicks you can do. Stay tuned for more, we'll see you next time.